Greetings. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Patrick Weimer, and I serve as a missionary on a little island in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean. I came to Iceland for the first time after enlisting in the Air Force, and Uncle Sam decided to send me to this little island to work for 2 years during the Cold War. It was there and here in Iceland where I trusted Christ as my Savior in 1991. I surrendered to preach in 1992 and there left the military and went to Bible college. And in our ministry in Iceland, we are a pioneer work. As I said, the Baptist church where I was saved, the First Baptist Church by name and also by description, was a church ministering to the American military members serving in Iceland, and it was primarily an English-speaking ministry reaching out to those service members and their families stationed in Iceland. But the country itself has never had a Baptist church to the nationals, and that's why I came to this country, to learn the language of Icelandic and to plant a church in the community and see the country reached with the gospel of Christ. And we have been serving here since 1999. This year marks 25 years of church planting in this country, and we are so thankful for your church reaching out and expressing interest in our work here. When you see the missionary, I'm not a single person up here serving the Lord. I have a wife who serves alongside with me. She was saved at 5 years old and has been serving the Lord in ministry longer than I've been saved. And thank God for my wonderful wife. She surrendered to be a missionary as a young woman, and wouldn't even consider courting, dating somebody who was not going to be a missionary. So that was the first thing we had to settle. When I expressed a desire to marry her, she said, "Are you going to be a missionary?" So I'm very blessed to have a wife as a missionary, and my 3 wonderful children, my adult children. One is married and living in America, and she serves in my brother-in-law's church. They run the teen ministry, teen church down there. Thank God for my daughter and my son-in-law. In Iceland, my son William is serving with us as well, getting married this month, and he has surrendered to the gospel preaching ministry to be a missionary, and will begin deputation to come back to Iceland as a missionary very soon. And my other son Clayton is also serving alongside of us, and no prospects of marriage yet, but we're still praying. And as you look at a missionary, you think you sometimes don't see that he's not a single or an individual working by himself. I could not be the man I am, do the work that I'm doing. My family works as hard, if not harder, than I do, and I thank God for my wonderful family, my children, helping us reach this land with the gospel of Christ. So when I say pioneer work, what I'm speaking about is in Iceland, we have 1,300 years of history in the country since they settled here, and we don't have a connection as far as a foundation upon which to build. Their paganism was their origination as Vikings, and then the Catholic Church came and in their conquest of lands offered them religion or death. And so the Icelanders chose religion and became a Catholic run state religion. And then the Lutherans in the 17th century became the state church of Iceland. And the nationals in this country think of church as a hand or a portion of the government, having really no connection to anything real. And it's basically their morale and welfare section of their government. And so you have a difficulty coming into this country and seeing all the tools that you're used to having as a church planter. Essential tools are a good Bible translation, a song book, music, something to sing and worship together. Having good tools to study the Bible, a dictionary of Bible words, commentaries. I mean, the shelf behind me, full of books. We are so spoiled in English. We have so many resources, but in Iceland, the tools that we need to disciple and to train the Icelandic speaking nationals we are lacking those tools. Didn't know that as a newcomer to the country until I learned the language. It did not come to light how much of a pioneer field this actually is. And I guess ignorance was bliss for me. But thank God, 25 years, we've been working on the curriculum issue, we've been working on the music issue, we've been working on the Bible translation issue, and all the while using the tools that we have, though rudimental they may be, as we desire as missionaries to give to the following generations tools that are necessary to reach out to their communities. And so we have been doing that for 25 years. I'll speak more in a few moments, but I wanted to give you an introduction to our ministry. Colossians 1:14, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. I love this verse of the week, and I love words. I'm a word nerd. I spend a lot of time translating the Bible, working from Greek to Icelandic, and what an exciting thing it is. So I could probably talk for too long on this verse, but redemption. Listen, in order to redeem somebody, by definition, is to pay the ransom of one who is being held captive. So in order to do that, you have to have the amount that they require in payment, and you have to have the desire to actually pay the payment for the one who's being held captive. And then when you read this verse, it says he did that. He paid that payment with his own blood. We were not redeemed with earthly things, but we were redeemed with the precious blood of Christ. The payment, the money that God used to pay for us, to pay our great debt, was his own life, his own blood. And I love this verse. In whom, as in Jesus, we have redemption. We've been found valuable enough. We have found somehow by his unexplainable love, he has found in us a value, willingness then to pay the ultimate price, to lay down his own life for us, the greatest display of love, unexplainable, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. Forgiveness. I love this verse. Forgiveness. God had sent to us a bill saying, you owe a debt that you cannot pay. And forgiveness says, I'm going to tear up your debt so you don't have to pay. I love forgiveness. He has every right to exact payment due upon all of us. But instead he offers forgiveness, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. His willingness to tear up our debt. Forgiveness. Thank God for that. And so as you study this verse, you consider Iceland. This is what we do in Iceland. We try to remember that God has found value in the souls of the people in this country. And he has spoken about us, that some have not the knowledge of God. And he speaks this to our shame. And so a driving force is reminding ourselves that God has found redeeming value, so much so that he gave his own life to save all mankind. And he wants us to tell this land of his love, unexplainable as it is, his unexplainable love, and then his willingness to forgive and to reveal to them that they are in debt to the Creator, the one who gave them life. But he's willing to forgive their debt, to tear up their debt, and exact not payment due, but payment done, or paid in full.